Hi, and welcome back to another new season of Boys Love, in which RJ and I will tell you how we are two boys that love nonsense. It's been like a month
since our last survival show. Girl, have we got a survival show for you, Mama.
Yeah.
We are jumping back in time to put ourselves
Picture it. It's the pandemic.
It's the pandemic. And we are watching Iland for the very first time. The classic show from Hybe and CJ Entertainment.
I'm an engene.
You're an engene.
RJ likes enhypen.
You are insane. Here's the thing with Adam, is that I introduced him to BTS and TXT and enhypen.
You did not introduce me to enhypen.
I did.
I found enhypen on my own. RJ, I can tell you the day that it happened.
No, because I showed you.
This is a lie. Do not listen to this man.
Adam, I showed you the video where TXT and enhypen did the variety show together, the game show, and then I was like, well, look at this one. This one who knows his like K-drama, and he's so cute. His name's Sunoo. I remember we were in our apartment in Florida, laying down in the bed, and I was like, watch this.
I would have found enhypen anyway. Okay. So it doesn't even matter. Has RJ read the webtoon?
No, I've not read Dark Moon, okay?
Who's reading Dark Moon? This girly?
What was the last Dark Moon you read?
What was the last chapter?
Been a while, huh? Since you had to log in. Probably re-download the app because it was probably offloaded.
No. I have read 42 chapters. 42 episodes is what they call it.
And how many episodes?
There are currently 68. This is better than he thought I was going to say, wasn't it?
No, that's still almost 20 chapters that you're behind.
They're webtoons, girl. They don't take a day.
That's 20 weeks behind. Do your little show.
The point is that I am the engene here. Because RJ has so much love to give to different groups that he likes to spread it around.
I do. Round and around.
Just be. Tempest.
Du jour. Our beloved Ichan.
Our beloved Ichan. Okay, so here's the thing about Iland.
Okay.
I've always wanted to watch Iland. I have never watched the show. There is a YouTuber that has compiled all of the sunoo moments in Iland into one 48-minute video.
That basically describes the journey.
Whole journey of Sunoo. Sunoo is my bias in enhypen, to the point that he is one of the first idols that I've ever biased where it's truly not. It is purely I want to care for you.
Yeah. I will cross the ocean for you. I will go and bring you the moon. Or is it, these are my children?
These are my children. Yeah. My saving grace. I never watched the show, but I'd always heard that it was good or a lot of people watched this when it was happening. It was also the middle of the pandemic, so I think that was... So
yeah, a lot of people had stuff to watch.
They had time. They had time to
watch. I was watching Love Island on CBS. Remember that?
In this year?
Yeah, this was this time. Because I was voting on who's going on dates and stuff.
We had just gotten back to Florida.
Wow.
When this started.
You were not watching anything, girl. You were too busy working.
I was wearing a shield. I was wearing hand sanitizer. I was wearing a hat and a glove and a tabbity-ba. You know what I mean?
And I was at home stewing in depression.
So anyway.
So I probably should have watched the show.
Would have saved you. Iland. As we head in.
Whoa.
This is the first caveats. Okay, up front. This is the first show we're watching where we already know the outcome.
Yes, true.
So we are not going to... It's going to be different for us. Right?
It's going to be different because we're truly... Well, yeah.
I'm going to try my best to be objective about it.
Yes. Yeah.
But also it's very hard for me to be well, I think that Jungwon should get in the group.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What's the point?
So you know, we'll still talk about everything we talk about normally, you know, but just based on episode 1, it is a completely different show from
totally different.
all the other 3 shows that
anything
we've
seen before.
Who's your enhypen bias?
My enhypen bias is Jay. I would say Sung Hoon is probably my wrecker. I knew about the show that it had like Big Brother elements of like they all lived in a place together, and either there were like live feeds that were happening that people could watch, or there was a lot of like clips that you could see from them like in Iland.
Yeah, living.
So ever since we've announced that we're doing Iland, it's either people are like, this is the best
the best survival show that's ever been made.
Or I hate it. It's
terrible.
Not worth your time.
Yeah.
It is so bad.
There is no one who's just like, oh yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. No one is normal about the show.
Yeah.
So
cool.
For us, it was like, well, what?
Now it just makes me want to know why
people feel that way.
Yeah.
Which I think helps, because since we already know the outcome, we can really just focus on the show. Like how it's produced, how it's directed. Yeah.
Let's start from the beginning. So our storyteller is Min Nam Kung. Okay, he is the voice of God for the show, just so you know. We have 3 producers who are watching all, seeing it all happen.
It's very smart. I was telling Adam, they're providing what a panel would have, like in a regular like dating show, I feel like. Where they're like watching and reacting, but I'm curious like when their input becomes part of the thing.
So the 3 producers are Hypen Bang PD from Big Hit,
yes. Rainism,
and Zico, which is so
crazy because they both debuted boy groups like after Iland.
After Iland, yeah. Zico now in hybe. Has a group of his own, and also he Rain
produces.
Cypher not in hybe, obviously.
Rain Cypher not in hybe.
The money, you can feel the money. Rain says it multiple times. You can feel the amount of money spent on this set.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Which I mean, like, okay. We know Mr. Hitman Bang loves a high concept, right?
Oh, girl.
And I do believe, like, his concepts, in order to do them well, you have to spend the money. Because imagine if, like, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, like, those concepts wouldn't have worked well if they didn't invest in all
speaking of
that.
Blood, Sweat, and Tears, the show starts with a Demian quote. And I was like, oh, this is funny.
Yeah. Like, imagine On. On would not be...
Right.
The concept that he wanted it.
Imagine most of their title tracks.
Yeah.
Imagine all of their, like, end of the year performances at, like, the Mamas. There is something like super artistic about it. It feels like too, not just like in the set, but like it does really feel like they're trying to make a different type of
survival show,
idol survival show. Yeah, I mean it still is in the trappings of what an idol survival show is, right? But it does feel different,
elevated.
To some degree. Yeah, elevated's a good word for it. I think the set is really cool.
I think so too.
I think that they like come in through this like door, come down the hallway, and then have to like cross into the island.
It gave very Parasite.
It gave the building itself. Yes, it did. Very that for sure. I would also say the energy was giving Hunger Games, but I've also never seen Hunger Games. So
really, I
never.
assumed you did.
I've never seen the Hunger Games.
You read any of them?
Never read the Hunger Games.
Oh, I assumed you did.
I know this. Hey girl.
I know Peta makes bread.
I can't whistle, but hoo hoo hoo.
I know Peta makes bread.
Peta makes bread. A character named Peta. This isn't that.
It is. This isn't that.
This
but
isn't that at all.
Freaked me out. That's why I never did Hunger Games. But I love the like. I watch Big Brother, watch Survivor. I do love the like mental game of like outsmarting one another to win, for one person to win.
Yeah, but that's not the inherent problem of those shows, RJ. The inherent thing about those shows is like surveillance state is like constantly being watched. That's the ethical weirdness of those shows. It's called Big Brother.
Yes, I know. But it's
a comment on like 1984, yeah.
But it's not even about like, I was never like a live feeds person though. Like, it was never about the actual surveillance. It's about like pressure cooker having to decide.
It's the game.
Yes.
For you.
So it's
the game outweighs the problems.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's why people watch it. I love the production quality. I think it's really cool. I don't know if I love the egg.
That's what I was gonna say.
The egg is weird.
The egg is the one thing that I don't like about this concept. I understand it, obviously.
Sure.
The metaphor is right there, mama. There's
and
a metaphor?
They don't call them trainees.
No.
They call them applicants. They should have called them little baby birds. Baby birds.
I can't fault the high concept on that, but I do agree. The egg feels...
The fact that the egg moves, that's cool.
But I don't understand. To me, there's a disconnect on like what the egg...
Okay.
Capital E, egg.
Yeah.
With the concept that's... The egg feels like natural, like we're birthing something, but everything feels so like artificial of like... Do you know what I mean? Like it feels like they're not... It feels like they're clashing concepts.
Well, it's funny because aesthetically, everything is so linear.
So linear.
And the egg is like round.
Round egg.
Yeah.
In the middle of everything.
Yeah. But maybe that's on purpose.
But the logo is literally a cube with an egg in the middle.
Yeah.
So maybe, you know what? Monk PD really turned it out.
Okay, let's talk about these contestants. These applicants.
And you know what, Adam? Who was contestant number 1?
Contestant number 1, Kim Sunoo. And at this point is when I started crying.
Yeah.
The first time.
Because, I made a tweet saying, like, Adam, it's going to be frustrating to watch this because he's going to want to pause every single time.
I'm so sorry.
I did not expect him to be literally the first face we see.
I had no... He is the first. He's title card, honey.
Title card, mama.
Yeah. He's Once Upon a Time in a Galaxy Far, Far Away.
Yeah. Everyone has a note.
Everyone has a note on their, like, their infographic of their, you know, their age, where they're from,
how long they've
their
trained.
name, how long they're trained, and, like, a note about them. So I wrote down everybody's note. Kim Sunoo's note is he is visual. That was the note. That's it. Can I say this about Kim Sunoo? I will not be normal about him this whole show.
Yeah.
So if you are like middling to negative on Kim Sunoo, this probably is not going to be the recap show for you. I'm calling his category idol who could have been cast in your local production of A Christmas Carol as Tiny Tim. Because there's just a waifish Victorian, he's got the cough, you know, there's blood in the handkerchief. Yes. Like he's at death's door.
He's Beth.
He's a baby bird. He's Beth. He's falling in the ice. No, that's Amy. No, that's Amy. He's getting, what does she get?
Scarlet fever?
Probably scarlet fever. He's Beth. He's perfect. He's pure. He has no problems. Another idol who I will put in the same category, but has a different energy. Mm-hmm. But I would say
but same.
Visually, you're like, oh, you're a little baby bird. You must be protected. You move your arm very slightly and it's going to break. It's going to shatter. It's Yoon Jung-un.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Very, very like...
Yeah.
Blow towards him one way and he'll
tip over. Yeah. He'll just fly away.
Yeah. However, he's just like chaos king.
Yes.
He contrasts it with that.
Yeah.
Something fun for you to think about.
It's interesting because when I think of Sunoo, I think of putting him in the idol category of like idol who loves idols.
Yes.
And that's why he wants to be an idol.
Yes.
I put him in the same. Subin is like the big one.
Yeah.
That you're just like, I just know you love this. Chaungi. Like you love. Oh, wait a minute.
King of baby girls.
Yeah.
That's his like whole thing. He's like a professional aegyo. It's incredible. He's actually almost too good.
In this first episode, I don't see anyone that could have also Probably Taki. Like, who would have been like, if they were in the group, he would have competition to be the other
cuter,
Aegyo person.
yeah.
But because he's in this group, he is the only one that's truly like, I have this down.
We have to. Okay, let's talk about these contestants. Okay, so Kim Sunoo visual, great. We stand Lee Youngbin.
Controversy.
RJ told me about some controversy. So he seems nice in this moment.
Yeah.
Seems pleasant. And his thing was he was a professional basketball player for 7 years. Can you really say when you're like, I started playing basketball in 4th grade that you're a professional basketball player? I just feel like I feel like we're reaching. I feel like she's reaching, Your Honor. You know what I mean?
So you were in a team? Okay.
So you were, right.
But
you
that's
were
not professional, girl.
4 feet tall playing basketball. Like, what are we talking about professional? Just say you play
basketball. Yeah.
And Jake is in that first group of 3.
Now, Bang PD put these units together because they have like something in common. And he said that these 3 have the shortest
amount of training. Jake's note was he got through an audition with a ratio of 500 to 1. Then we don't know. It is not explained what that means.
We just assumed that means out of 500 people that auditioned, he was the only one that made it, probably.
Yeah, I guess. Okay. Cool. Young Jake is so funny to me.
I know. He literally looks
Sunoo,
like...
I think pretty much looks the same.
Looks the same, totally.
There are a couple who end up in the group that look now like Jay, same. Looks exactly the same. Niki,
fully
entirely different human being.
Face. Even like, I think heesung stays the same, but I would say similar, everyone like Sunghoon changes face.
Yeah. I also Jungwon too. But Jungwon's also very young.
Yeah.
Okay. Nicholas, this is the next group. Nicholas went to a Taiwanese arts high school. Hanbin from Vietnam. This is your foreign line, by the way.
Yes, this unit is foreign.
Hanbin's from Vietnam, and he was an SNS star dance crew.
So he's a social media dance covered. He does covers of dances. And Bang PD was like, that's how I found him.
Yeah. And then Niki, who started dancing at age 5 because he was inspired by who? Michael Jackson.
I mean, you totally see. I mean, obviously, Niki has done other dances, but like you can tell.
Yeah.
That is his main dance inspiration.
I mean, he genuinely, Michael Jackson was the most famous person in the world, probably apart from Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Genuinely. Like when he was alive.
Yeah.
This is also like back when there was monoculture too. Monoculture meaning like now everything's so fragmented. We're making a podcast about things that none of our friends care about in any way whatsoever.
But like back in the day, like everyone enjoyed the same thing.
Yes.
It's just like one thing.
There's one thing.
Yeah.
Everybody likes Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
The end. Everybody on Earth, globally, liked one person.
Yeah.
Psycho.
Yeah.
And then you wonder why. Okay. You know what? It's not time to go there. Next group, we have J-Bomb, who's Ichan.
Our beloved Ichan.
He's a songwriter, which we know.
His face here looks so completely different than how he looks now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Jimin is in a band.
And he is in Just Be.
He's in Just Be. Yes.
You've met him, Adam. You've seen him.
Oh my God, Judy. And Sung Chol, who is a soccer player. We have Daniel.
And EJ.
Daniel, it said he was the youngest trainee, and EJ's a fencer. Which is so funny because that's kind of what they're like. That's what their costumes are like modeled after.
I think this was when Rain was like, did you just recruit a bunch of like teen athletes?
Yeah. There's
and
a lot of
was
athletes.
like, no, I genuinely didn't.
Supposed to like, in order to go to college, it's not like, oh, just have the best grades. It's like, have the best grades, be on a sport, be in a club. Next group, Yang Jungwon, our Taekwondo baby. Taeyong, who used to be a child actor, and Yoonwon, who was a busker.
Busker.
A busker.
So someone that's, dancing out in the streets.
On the streets, in the subway, on the
malls.
Oh,
big malls.
Sure. Do you have takes on any of these people? I really don't yet. Okay, Kyungmin is next. He does contemporary arts, which also means what?
You write short stories, you paint?
Because, like,
you're a photographer?
Does that mean you do, like, contemporary, like, you do visual art?
Like he's at MoMA.
Right. Is it that? What does it mean, contemporary artist? So just an artist who's currently around? What are you talking about? It's a weird way to put it. Okay. Jae-ho, who was on a previous survival show, and Lee Gonu.
Also a Just Be member.
Just Be member, and he got his GED.
Yes, and then Adam was like, this can't mean the same thing, right? Like, that he didn't graduate high school. And then Bang PD was like, yeah, he didn't graduate high school.
He dropped out.
To
pursue his dream.
To pursue his dream.
Good for him. He's the short one, right? In Just Be? Which is funny because I think
he spoke the most English.
He spoke the most English, but I also think he's short just in terms of the other members are really tall.
Yes, yeah.
I think he's like average height.
Yeah. There's that one guy, Bane, who like looks like he's 8 feet tall.
Oh, I know Bane, honey. K is a marathoner. RJK is a marathoner.
Yes.
And then this is another one where it was like, and the last marathon I did was like middle school. And I was like, okay, then you're not currently a marathoner. What are you talking about? Stop doing this. Anyway, Sunghoon is a former figure skater.
I think 11
for like 13 years.
Yeah.
11 years, something like that. And Jay, this is, we now head into this is the big hit trainee portion of the show. So Sunghoon and Jay were both former big hit trainees. Okay. Heesung comes in next. And I could not believe. I didn't know. I've always known that Heesung is like the Yeonjun of enhypen, meaning that he was like, he's very talented in all fields. I've always known that. But they like make a thing out of it on the show. And he like, they're like, oh, the ace is here. The ace is here. And I was like, oh, damn, girl. Yeah. I love Heesung. So also big hit trainee. And then Son, who is the longest trainee. I think he's like 22. He's 23. 22.
It's like 4 years as a trainee.
Yeah. And Taki is next, and he's a locker.
He likes to pop, lock, and drop it.
Pop, lock, and jam and break. Is that even legal? Not another way.
And it comes in as like, I was very happy to see Niki because we trained together in Japan.
Yeah. So sweet. We now have 23 contestants. There is a number 12 on the wall. And we don't know what the 12 means. We find out now that 12 people
will get into
Iland.
And they have to vote. They have to all watch each other perform.
They're going to do other auditions. And then
vote. If you get a majority 12
or more, you get to be an Iland.
You get to be an Iland. If you don't, then you're voted out. And it doesn't say anything else. You just know that you're not getting an Iland.
If there's more than 12 people that get voted into Iland, then they'll have to do a reevaluation. They do say that. But we are going to see that next episode.
They literally know nothing about what's about to happen. And so they already feel like, oh, I could go home. Like Fantasy Boys when they got first, second, third. And then just those third graders or third class, whatever, just went home.
Basically. Yeah.
So like, you don't know if you're just going to go home right away.
Right.
So they're shaking in their boots.
We head straight into the auditions. Son volunteers to go first,
which is smart because if you're a solo, just go up there.
Just go for solos. Ugh. I said this before. I'll say it again. Anytime I ever watch a survival show, a solo should not be judged at the same way like people in a little group is judged. I'm sorry. They shouldn't be. It's crazy.
Because he goes first.
Justice for
This
Dongwon.
was the this was the most interesting part of the voting, because they all had to vote, was that they were like, well, I didn't want to look like the only person that didn't vote for the person.
So Son gets 22 votes. Out of a possible 22, he gets 22. So he's going in. Do you agree? It's hard too because we don't see the whole performance.
And they say, and they say it too. They're like, they don't know the standard for the first person.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're up against.
Right.
I think he deserves to go in. I don't know if it deserved unanimous. I thought like Jae Sung-hoon's was very clean and polished.
Yes.
Because it was
executed really
primarily dance of just like movements, but they didn't sound amazing.
No, they sounded...
But I also think that song is way too low for them. Or
okay, let's talk about these these
songs.
What in the mask drag is going on? I mean, if you want to really be like, what is the opposite energy of Boys
like
Planet in every single way?
It's the Iland.
It's Iland
editions.
What is this?
Every song was like except for the Zico song and obviously Crown.
Yes.
And Taki's little funkified fresh solo that he does. Everything was like, I'm so mask. That it sounded like I'm watching boys pretend to be like grown.
It was the equivalent of like when a little boy puts on his dad's suit. And you're like, okay, this is so cute. And I think some of them do well at it. Like I think Jae and Sung-hoon actually really pull it off.
Yeah.
Like heesung song isn't super mask, but it is,
because I think it leans a little bit more on hip hop, which is
like it's more danceified. I don't know.
Like,
some of them I was just like, what?
So like Ichan and Jimin, they do Shootout.
Yeah.
And it felt like it feels too grown for this group.
Yeah. Also, everyone is like 16. I don't think everyone is actually 16, but like everyone is basically not younger than 20.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
The energy.
Yeah.
Even though we know that there are people older than 20 in the group, but the energy that they're all giving, obviously because you're trainees, it feels like the songs feel like too big for some of them.
Yeah. I don't know, guys. I don't know.
It was very... But here's the thing. As a person who like did theater at that age, I was the one that was like, I'm going to deliver like fucking Hamlet.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like the energy that you come, because it's like, I'm taking this seriously. Like, I want to be taken seriously as
an artist.
So I'm going to do...
And this is why my favorite performance of all of them, obviously heesung is incredible. I really like Jae and Sung-hoon.
Your favorite?
I actually really liked Hanbin, Niki, and Nicholas as well.
Yeah.
And I thought it was crazy that Hanbin did not get
it. Yeah.
Because I felt
like it was even.
I felt like I noticed him more than I noticed Nicholas.
But it was interesting because I don't know if it was pronunciation. Because out of the three of them, I think Hanbin has the worst pronunciation.
But this is the other thing about the way this was edited. And like, I understand that like they don't always show the full edit of the thing. But I felt like the editing was weird in that it was, as an audience member, I was like, oh, they want me to feel like I'm just seeing a snippet of their ability.
I'm just getting it.
I'm not supposed to take this as a piece of what...
This is their audition.
Right. Yeah. It's just like, here's where they're at currently.
Yeah.
And I thought the way they edited it was kind of cool in that regard, but I also was like, oh, but I want to see...
A little bit more.
I want to see, like, are these on YouTube of the full... I don't know if they are or not. I haven't looked, but I wanted to see the full one. Because, Mama, the longest song we get in this... Beep, 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 beep.
They showed the entire beginning of the song till the end of the first chorus.
Yeah, which I think was the whole performance. I think this was the best performance, and here's what I'm going to say. No one's shocked that sunoo performing TXT's Crowd, which is probably my favorite debut song of all time, is going to, like, speak to me. Okay, fine. However, that being said... Objectively stepping out of it, you have, like, set up this whole, like, hour, probably, of, like...
Guys doing, like, NCT songs over and over again.
Sure. NCT Energy type songs over and... 127 specifically, or You.
Yeah.
Over and over again. So to come out and do Full Bright, and then have sunoo nail it so perfectly. First of all, they changed the key, which I did notice, which is funny because I remember when we talked about Fantasy Boys and I was like, nobody notices when you change the key. I fully was like clocked. They changed the key, but it sounded great. It was like perfectly in their range. All three of them sounded good in it.
I mean, Sunoo got all the votes.
All of the votes. And
Because-
here's the thing.
Yeah.
Deserved. I hate to say it. Giving you face. Giving you reactions. Giving you joy on stage.
Sunoo was like Candy Muse of the show because he was giving producer the entire show.
Yes.
Because when like the global group was going, he was like, oh, I bet we're going to get someone that's voted out in this group.
Yes.
And then they did. You know, it's like he was just producing the show as it was
They cut to him for every reaction because he's the only one who's giving like, yeah, I thought Hanbin should have been in. That's
I think the other one that I really liked was Daniel and EJ. I thought, even though that song, they did the Zico song, and it was very loose. Like, it wasn't like terribly choreographed. It was fully like me and my buddy,
right?
Da 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 da. But like,
it was super expressive.
It's expressive, and you could tell who they were after the song.
Totally, Gonu Jo and Kyungmin.
In that one though, in Ganu's group, I was like, Ganu is the star.
Gonu is the star.
Ganu is so good.
In the Niki group too, I was like, it's so clear that Niki is the star of this group.
Yeah.
I mean, my fear of watching the show is not even like that I'll know the end because I know who ends up making the group, but more that like it's just going to be a very clear
path for
between who ends up making the group, who's not. Because I mean, Jae, Sunghoon, Niki, heesung, Jungwon, and Sunoo, and Jake.
Everyone, they all nailed it.
They all do so well. Jake is the one I think who probably did the
worst out of all of the 7 that ends up debuting. Yeah.
But even then, he's so. But I also don't know if I would pick. I don't know if I'd pick Crown for him either.
But it's a safe choice for him because it's already well known. It's a safe choice for him.
And Jake has full golden retriever energy.
Oh yeah.
So this is like a good bright.
It is so funny
smiley.
Thinking about it now. I think it is Jake that I'm like. I'm curious, like, who will be the surprise? I can't wait to see, like, who will be, like, the surprise person that makes it to the debut.
Totally. Gonu. I thought he was really good.
Yeah, me too. And he, like, really took it so hard that, like, he was the only one from his unit that made it.
Oh, he took it very hard. Yeah, he took it very hard.
I mean, when you were telling the story about Jay and Jake at Eric Nam's show, about like when they were all training for the show, they couldn't talk to each other.
Yes, I really recommend if you guys like, I'm sure if you like enhypen, you already watched it, but there's an interview that Eric Nam did with Jay and Jake. It's mostly in English. And they talk about a bunch of stuff, but they do talk about their experience on the show and how they had basically been training for this show for like a year beforehand, but weren't allowed to talk to each other the whole time because they wanted it to be saved for the show for them to like make friendships and stuff like that. And I think that's crazy. I think that's like the most nefarious, like,
especially for someone like Jake who like literally came by himself, is learning how to speak the language as he's there. Yeah. But I could tell like Gonu probably felt that for his team. Like he's probably is like the only connections that I've made while I've been training.
Yeah.
So they get into the egg.
The people who made it, there's
4 extra.
There's 16.
There's 16
who have made it.
So there's just a giant -4.
I'll just read to you everybody who made it. Son, Jae, Sunghoon, Nicholas, Niki, K, Heesung, Daniel, EJ, Sungchul, Gonu, Taki, Jungwon. Taki also got everyone's vote. Slay. Honestly, good for you, girl. Jungwon, Jake, and Sunoo. And Youngbin.
So to get into the egg, they finally see the inside of Iland. It's Gorgessa. It's AI. It's modern. It's
very minimal.
Industrial.
Yeah.
A little.
Yeah.
With these like white concrete chairs. There's only 12 of them.
We love LED lighting. Sure. Not a lamp to be found.
No. And then they're told that in 2 hours they will have to vote on who the 12 will be that'll stay in Iland, and the rest will go to somewhere called Ground. And then Ground, as you see, because everyone that didn't make Iland, so the ones who didn't get voted in, all go to Ground together, and it is like a barracks, I would say. Like, it's still very modern, so it's like a big slab of concrete with ivy, so like it still looks nice from the outside, but on the inside it just doesn't have all the amenities like the fitness room and the item room or whatever the fuck.
The item room. Girl, it's rings. Anyway, it's clothes and rings.
So they pretty much set that up. And then the cliffhanger is that they start voting, and then we'll find out in the next episode who the four will be voted
They
out.
tease us by being like, guess what? Niki said, fuck Taki. And I was like...
And there's this cute scene where they're like eating snacks together, and Taki's like, what was that move that you did? Blah, blah, blah. And they like are just dancing, and like Niki's talking head is like, I just feel like Taki...
Isn't
ready. And I'm like, Niki, you are... a 13 at this point, 14?
I think he's 14 in the show.
And I don't know if that was just him being like, it feels like I am more disciplined and ready for this, as opposed to Taki, who feels more just still like a kid, just excited to like dance.
Everything that happens within the episode, and I'm not including this Taki Niki moment because that technically is in the next episode.
Second,
There's no narrative that they are setting up.
No, it's just like explaining and showing.
Showing, and like nobody's a villain, nobody's a good guy. The only narrative I would say is Heesung is the ace.
Yeah.
That is the one that they give like a moment to of being like, wow. There's like definitely comments that they allow to be in the edit of like
people
Jae and
showing
Sung-hoon look really cool and like stuff like that. But like the only true narrative of this show is like so far is Heesung is the ace. And maybe I would say that Son is like not as good as he should have been for having the longest amount of training.
Put ourselves in the mindset of we watched this episode. We were at the time.
We wouldn't know. We wouldn't know how many people.
We wouldn't know how many people we would
So we wouldn't even be able to like be like, oh, here's my ideal blah blah blah.
But who would
I be watching?
Should we just let's do, for the sake of this, let's say three names.
I can tell you right now who my three would have been.
Uh-huh.
It would have been Gonu, it would have been Sunoo, and it would have been Hanbin. Or do we have the same three?
Gonu for sure.
Yeah.
Gonu for fucking sure.
Yeah, Gonu for sure.
I think also probably Tempest is sure. Also Hanbin, because I would be like, he's the only Southeast Asian. So like I really want to.
But his name's Hanbin.
He probably picked a Korean name, girl. I would say, I would actually say Daniel too. I thought he was so cute.
I could probably pick a 7.
So Gonu, Hanbin,
Sunoo. I think I would have picked Heesung too. I'm trying to figure out if I would have picked Taki or not. I think I would have picked either Niki or Taki.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think I'm leaning Taki though.
Yeah.
I like how like earnest it feels with him. Yeah.
Totally.
If I'm picking 2 more, I'd probably pick Niki and Sung-hoon. His figure skating package really would have sold me.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Really would have sold me.
Yeah.
And then he does they ask him to do a triple axel or whatever,
axel.
and he does it. And yeah, it would have sold me. I'd have been like, woo!
Okay, so I will pick Gonu. I will pick Sunoo.
If you want to remain in this marriage, you will. For sure.
I will also pick Hanbin.
Okay.
Oh, I think I will also pick Heesung, and then I will pick Daniel. I think that's my 5.
Okay.
If I got to pick 2 more, if I did just pick 7,
Yeah.
I probably would throw in Niki and probably Kay. I thought Kay was really good with his solo.
Heesung does not get 22 votes.
Yeah,
He only
because
got
remember,
20.
I think it was Gonu who was like,
Gonu
I
who
thought
was
it was
like-
going to be better than,
Yeah.
and he even felt bad voting. I don't know. I'm going to be so sad that Ganu's not obviously going to be in this, but I'm kind of like sold that he's like my one pick right now.
RJ's already picking one pick. My one pick would obviously be Sunoo. But I think even if I was watching the show, I would be like,
it would. Oh my god, yes.
There's no question.
He is clearly written to be like
to pull the heartstrings.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so finally, Sunghoon is the one member of enhypen that it took me so long to like figure out what his vibe was.
Because I think he's just naturally keeps himself.
Yeah.
So
quiet. So perfect to be a music bank host. Perfect. No notes.
I could tell that they were like, let's try it and see if you like it. And I could also
because also Subin is an introvert.
Yeah.
And it brought him out of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure they were like, oh, maybe we'll be the same. It's just not.
It's okay.
He did good.
He did pretty well.
Fine. Yeah.
He like was
he did the job.
In moments he was able to come out, but you could tell that it's just
it's not for him.
A quiet person.
Yeah.
If anyone in enhypen is genuinely like good MC, I think it's Sunoo or Jungwon. Jungwon filled in for Sunghoon a lot, and he was really like so charming.
Heesung would not be good. Jay would be good if he would feel comfortable enough to be goofy, because Jay is very goofy,
but not in that setting. I don't think.
I don't know if in like an MC situation he would feel comfortable enough to do that though. Yeah, I just don't know if enhypen's the group to like farm your music show.
But I think
MC
seeing Iland, I think that was the intent all along, was to put a high concept on this group. So like, let's make sure that this group can carry a concept.
Yeah.
And I think they do. They do really well.
Oh, does enhypen have a concept?
Discovering voices, building worlds. The Ampliverse.